We'll be back from the break. Let's continue with more business today as we head to Nairobi. Now, the Nairobi Securities Exchange has handed over 1.23 billion Kenyan shillings unclaimed shares to the Financial Assets Authority as Safaricom, Absa, KCB and Britam top counters with unclaimed shares and the capital markets exhibiting a shaky awareness position. Now, this revelation has further brought to light a significant oversight by investors, posing questions about financial literacy and investor awareness.
Revelation of 1.23 billion unclaimed shares in Safaricom and KCB Bank serves as a wake-up call for investors and highlights the importance of staying informed and engaged with their investments. It also urges regulatory bodies, financial institutions and other stakeholders to collaborate in creating educational programs and initiatives to enhance financial literacy and empower investors.
Is a product of machinations and intrigues by dominant actors in the telecommunication industry who are keen on protecting their monopolistic dominance from the entrance of new actors.
John Kamau, the general manager of Jami, has accused the Safaricom of seeking to entrench for single seller and for the credit problem that Kenyans are facing. The unclaimed Safaricom shares that would raise to 3.5 billion today represents nearly 1/5 or 16.3% of the 1.203 billion shares that were listed as abandoned by UFAA at the end of last year and which carried an estimated value of 30.17 billion.
There is a sort of a collusion of the three operators to try to make sure that no entry, for reasons which we don't know, but the fact remains is that we are very determined to make sure that we penetrate this market because we want to protect Kenyans.
Nyene Jituka, the head of Communications Authority, says that his organization has never expressed a financial loss and that with Safaricom's cooperation, he added that they can resolve these issues.
To inform you that the authority will issue a substantive statement in due course. And in that connection, we do not expect to say anything else because the board did not meet. The authority wishes to clarify that no money has been lost in the authorization given to Jami Telecom.
Joshua Chepkon also added about the lack of collaboration of the Safaricom and other body and said that it's what is affecting Kenyans. Safaricom, the leading telecommunications company in Kenya, and KCB Bank, one of the largest commercial banks in the country, have witnessed tremendous growth and success over the years. As a result, many individuals invested in these companies by purchasing shares hoping to benefit from their financial prosperity. Both Safaricom and KCB Bank have expressed their commitment to rectifying this situation and ensuring that investors are aware of their unclaimed shares. They are in the process of implementing a comprehensive communication campaign to reach out to all stakeholders who have yet claimed their investments.
All right, now away from that, we head to Mali as the Western Economic and Monetary Union has lifted trade and financial sanctions on Mali following a spell of tension in the country stemming from the coups as early as 2020. The move skips as a series of penalties that have even involved suspension from the regional bloc, ECOWAS.
The West African Economic and Monetary Union, WEMOA, has announced the lifting of its suspension on Mali, and this decision was made during an extraordinary session held in Guinea-Bissau. The suspension was initially imposed in January 2022 by West African Economic and Monetary Union and Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. The suspension came after Mali's leader Assimi Goïta seized power in August 2020 and subsequently established an interim government led by civilians. However, in a concerting turn of events, the civilian leaders were deposed in a second coup in May 2021, and Goïta was sworn in as interim president. This series of events triggered international concern and led to the imposition of economic measures against Mali. The sanctions badly hit the country, whose economy was already under severe strain from a decade-long jihadist insurgency. Mali defaulted on over $300 million of its debt due to sanctions. The sanctions also cut the conflict-ravaged nation off from the regional financial market and the regional central bank. The West African Monetary Union's decision to lift the suspension on Mali demonstrates economic integration within West Africa. With the restoration of normalcy, Mali can now focus on addressing the pressing economic challenges it faces and work towards strengthening its economic sector.
All right. Now, a requiem mass hosting locals and international mourners has been held at the Rubaga Cathedral as friends and business partners paid their last respect to the late tycoon and South-Med billionaire Apollo Nyangamehe, aka Amponye. Now, the deceased held a reputable chain of investments under Amponye Uganda Limited, a constituent of the popular Amponye complex in Kampala, which houses Mega Standard Supermarket, Amponye Mall, hotels, among others. Now, the empire that had expanded across borders has attracted call for sustainability as the immense contribution remains worth saving. Ronan Ahawe reports.
If you have any message remaining for the family, please pass by.
Apollo Nyangamehe, aka Aponye, a self-made billionaire and philanthropist who started as a wheelbarrow pusher in Kabale, died Thursday last week in a motorcar crash. Today, a requiem mass was held at Rubaga Cathedral, where hundreds gathered, including top officials from government, to pay their final respect. With sorrows, hundreds have gathered here at the Rubaga Cathedral for the requiem mass of the late Apollo Nyangamehe, aka Aponye, who passed on Thursday last week in the evening. He's well known for his big investments such as the Amponye Mall, Amponye Hotel, the Mega Standard Supermarkets. He was a dealer in coffee, beans, maize. He's well known also for the time when he supplied to the country during the COVID-19 a bunch of sacks of maize. He was also a net exporter in the East African countries, including South Sudan. He supplied to the Prime Minister's office maize, to the prisons, as well as the World Food Program. Such a big businessman. What's the story? There is a norm that when such billionaires pass on, their businesses do not remain the same, they operate in losses or they run bankrupt. Will that be the case? It would be very unfortunate. May his soul rest in eternal peace. The business community has urged the family of the late Apollo Nyangamehe to carry on the empire Amponye Uganda Limited across borders as their father did, expressing optimism among the successors.
He has been a grain dealer, not only to Sudan, not only to the United Nations. Everybody in Africa and the world has eaten a grain, a seed of grain from Amponye. So this is the kind of person. He's now a producer of oil, producer of grain of different packages, a producer of soap. All these, we pray that they stay in system because the good thing has been working alongside his children and family. We pray that they live beyond the name Nyangamehe and the Amponye overrules, because it is the two that made the Amponye. From Apollo Nyangamehe, he made the Amponye. We pray that the predecessors, the children and the family guide for better, because he has educated his children and they are all studied, even those ones still studying. We pray that they stay in a team and then they can take forward whatever Amponye has sacrificed through pain to make what he has been.
Because he was a person who was encouraging, was comforting, and mostly he likes to talk with his workers. Like when he come, he may contact us and say, what is the problem, what is the problem? And he discuss with us the problem, issues.
The widow to the deceased has called upon the children to collaborate and work towards maintaining the deceased's reputation while desisting from lawsuits from fallouts. In the same spirit, the chief mourner, who represented President Museveni, notes the need to create relationships from the fallen billionaire as his relationships had crossed borders, evidenced by the mourners in attendance.
Kwatanisi aza nicho yafaya na yitenga kandi ninyandangu muchikoli n'abashaba umumisho g'abanywani beitu nimurebe ko kereziya yijwire abengi nangwa ati bari kumanya ubundi ururimo rundi kugamba konke kirungi rwanyu barwetegereza kandi na mwami Kristo nawe bye babyetegereza nanya abandi bari kubyetegereza kandi twe naturu kugamba kimwe okukwatanisa azanye mbashaba ngo mucikirize tutabani tuzo mu makoti azashoya abaryo muntu wihorere nakibashaba.
And building relations across many communities, many nationalities, and many countries. Among the friends of Aponye, you'll find every race, you'll find every ethnic group.
Personal testimonies poured in from all ends, including government officials, such as the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, who recalled a scenario where Aponye came to the rescue of South Sudan under the President's orders.
I remember there is a time, Chris, when the President sent me saving South Sudan, the country had no money. They borrowed their money. Taban, Idi, Chris, Mandela, Mwanje, and team were supplying. Then, after the President had requested them to save South Sudan, then when the President comes up to say they must be paid, or rather they are being favored.
He belonged to a generation of business community, especially from our area, who were not very educated, but have made so much impact on our economy as a community, but also as a country.
Although the exact figures seem unknown, Aponye's net worth is estimated to be over $25 million, with the majority of ventures into grain trading, real estate, logistics, and hospitality propelling him to significant wealth. The tragic loss of Aponye's life leaves a void in the business community, as his entrepreneurial legacy will be remembered for years to come. Ronana Habwe, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
All right, now, Business Today comes fully to an end tonight. But first, a look at our top stories. In the headlines tonight, Board of Directors' terms on reappointment stacked against legislative demands. Elsewhere, traffic penalties yet to bite. Road Safety Act likely to create impact with 2 million shillings over speeding fine and custody. And also, Uganda loses a self-made billionaire. Business community calls upon the children of the deceased to carry on family legacies. And well, Monday, it is the 10th of July 2023. JORAMPAUL SONKO with Winnie Wins and Akauchi on for sign language. We've been coming to you live from Plot 42 Nile Avenue, and we wish you all the best for this brand new week, and a good evening wherever you are as you're heading back home, or for those who are just back home at this particular time. For everybody who has been part of the live broadcast, many thanks. Till tomorrow, goodbye. Smart 24, driving business. Say goodbye to paperwork and travel costs.